17 times, Yuki. At this point, you are not a hunter. You are a village joke.
The examiner didn't bother looking up. Another E-rank stamp. Another failure for the corpse rank hunter.
Maybe try begging next time. It's the only rank you haven't failed at.
They're right. I can't even lift a standard issue sword properly. What am I doing here?
He took the long path home. The one through the Forbidden Valley. The place where even seasoned hunters wouldn't tread.
No one will look for me here. That's the only blessing of being invisible.
The valley was said to be cursed. Old bones and rusted weapons littered the ground, remnants of those who never returned.
Maybe it's fitting I die here. At least the valley won't laugh.
Then, through the fog, something gleamed. A light that didn't belong to this world.
What is that?
The light came from a massive katana, rammed through a skeleton's chest. The bones wore armor that had rusted for centuries.
A warrior, left here to rot. What kind of battle placed a sword through his heart?
The blade hummed, a low vibration that seemed to reach inside his bones. He should have run, but his hand rose unbidden.
I can't. Stop.
Fire erupted behind his eyes. A torrent of memories not his own. Battles, blood, a betrayal he couldn't name, ripped through his skull.
A soul. Someone else's soul is inside me.
When the pain ebbed, he stood changed. The enormous blade rested on his shoulder as if it belonged there, and behind him, a ghostly armored figure watched through ancient eyes.
5 centuries. I have waited. Now, boy, you will carry my blade.
My body feels so light. This sword should be impossible for me to lift.
The skeleton crumbled to dust. Whatever had anchored the spirit here was gone, and Yuki was no longer alone inside his own skin. Yuki made his way out of the valley, the massive katana light in his grip, but the forest had other dangers tonight.
I still don't understand what happened to me. This sword, it's like it knows my thoughts.
A guttural roar shattered the silence. A dire wolf, twice the size of a man, burst from the undergrowth.
I am dead. My body won't move fast enough.
Move, boy. Let me show you what this blade can do.
Yuki's muscles obeyed someone else. His body flowed into a stance he had never learned, and the sword sang. A single, effortless, diagonal slash. The wolf's head separated from its body before it could even howl. Grace that defied the E-rank hunter.
Thursday, that wasn't me. What have I become? I just watched my hands kill it.
In the darkness, a pair of eyes watched from the tree line. A scout from the academy had been tracking the valley's disturbances. Now he had something to report. The figure slipped away, leaving Yuki trembling in the blood-soaked clearing, his silver eye still gleaming. Yuki returned to the guild. The ranking board flickered. His name shot from E rank to C rank.
I've been E rank for 3 years. This is impossible.
The room fell silent. Everyone had heard of the dire wolf. The corpse rank hunter had killed it alone. An official handed him a scroll with the Royal Sword Academy seal. He was being summoned.
They want me at the academy? Someone must have seen the sword spirit.
He could hardly refuse. By nightfall, he was on the road to the capital. The academy gates towered above. Students in silk uniforms stared at the dusty stranger carrying a massive katana.
I don't belong here. These people have spent their lives training. I am just a ghost's puppet.
High on a balcony, headmistress Hina watched him without a word. Her eyes missed nothing. She whispered an order to her servant. Keep the boy under constant watch. Hina summoned Yuki to her private study. The walls were lined with sword manuals, older than the academy itself.
I've heard rumors of your skill, Yuki. I want to see it for myself. Spar with me.
Yuki raised his blade, but his body moved stiffly. Every strike he recalled was not his own.
That footwork. The pivot on the left heel. Where did you learn that?
Let me guide you. She'll only press harder.
Before Yuki could answer, his body slipped into a flawless ancient form. a sequence no living student should know.
That is the form of the crescent moon. It hasn't been taught in 500 years. Who taught you?
I found an old scroll in the valley. Just practicing.
Lies won't protect you here. Leave. But know that I will find the truth.
She knows something. Kenji, what have you dragged me into?
That night, Yuki sat alone in his assigned chamber, the katana resting across his knees. The silver eye wouldn't close.
You are right to be afraid. That woman Hina recognized the old forms. In my era, I was called the Sword Saint, the greatest of all kingdoms. But that title meant nothing when I died.
You were a legend? Then, why are you a spirit bound to a corpse? What happened?
What happened is a tale for another time. Right now, you must know that staying here is a mistake.
Why? What does this academy have to do with you?
Trust no one here. Many secrets are buried in these walls. Secrets older than you can imagine.
You can't just leave me with riddles. What aren't you telling me? He's afraid of the academy. Genuinely afraid. What could scare a dead sword saint? Fine. I'll play along. But I am not your puppet. I'll uncover the truth myself.
Yuki slipped out of the academy grounds, seeking air that didn't taste of secrets. The moon was high, the streets empty. Too late, he felt the shift in the air. 3 figures emerged from the dark, their daggers glowing with a cursed light.
Assassins? Here? How did they know?
Don't resist. Let me through, or we both die.
His will slipped. Kenji's presence flooded his limbs. The katana rose on its own. The first attacker lunged and was met with a slash that split his blade and his chest in a single motion. The others froze. That footwork, that angle of the strike, it was a ghost story made flesh. One whispered a name that hadn't been spoken in 5 centuries. Then they fled, leaving their dead behind.
They knew the old forms. They knew who you were.
They will tell their masters. This academy's past is not buried. It is hunting us.
Yuki had barely sheathed his blade when the door to his chamber opened without a knock. Hina stepped inside, her face carved from stone.
I saw the aftermath in the alley. That was not a student's work. It was the crescent moon slash.
I don't know what you are talking about. I was just defending myself.
Don't lie to me. I've studied every record of Kenji, the last sword saint. And tonight, I saw his ghost in your movements.
She knows too much. Let me speak, or she will drag it from you.
I can see him, the old man. Kenji, if you are there, know that I am not your enemy. I was raised on your teachings.
You carry my legacy, yet you lead this place. Do you know what your founders did to me?
I have only suspicions, but I know you disappeared, not died in battle. The truth was erased. I will protect you, Yuki. Both of you. But when the time comes, I need the full story. The Academy needs to face its sins.
Protection from what? And why should I trust you?
Because the founders of this Academy are the ones who sent those assassins. They'll never stop.
Hina led them deep beneath the academy, to a library sealed for centuries. Dust-covered tomes lined the walls.
These records were hidden. Kenji didn't fall in battle. He was murdered by his own students.
The scroll showed a figure in old armor, surrounded by 7 shadowy forms. A blade pierced his back.
Kensei, even now, I can feel that traitor's steel.
Another page revealed a dark ritual. The 7 drank his blood, and their aging stopped forever.
They're still alive. The 7 founders, ageless, sitting on the Academy's council even now.
We're supposed to fight immortals. With 1 ghost and an E-rank body.
I will not rest until every one of them answers for what they did.
Yuki's hand tightened on the katana. It was no longer just Kenji's fight. It was his existence at stake. The next morning, a dark projection flickered in the Academy's great hall. Kensei's cold eyes and silvered hair.
The boy called Yuki carries the spirit of the traitor, Kenji. Surrender him by sunset, or this academy burns.
The hall erupted. Some stared at Yuki with fear. others with accusation. The academy was split like a blade through bone.
I've been a burden long enough. They'll hand me over, just like the guild would have.
The Academy does not surrender students to assassins. We will defend our own.
I'll face them myself, but not as a puppet, as the hunter who chooses his own battles.
You are not ready. They will tear you apart without my control.
Then I'll become ready. No more watching my own hands kill. I'll earn the right to hold this blade.
That night, Hina guided him through a forgotten tunnel, away from the academy walls.
Train. Find your own style. Become the sword Saint Kenji could never finish. I will buy you time.
In a remote mountain clearing, Yuki swung the katana until his arms screamed. Every repetition was a prayer for independence.
Your footwork is still half a breath too slow. Again.
A mountain bear charged into the clearing. Yuki's first chance to test his own skill without surrendering.
I can't. My body won't keep up. I am still just the corpse rank hunter inside.
Let go. I will handle it.
The bear fell in 2 clean cuts. Yuki watched his own hands finish the motion, then dropped the blade.
Those aren't my victories. I am just a flesh puppet. Kenji, do you even see me as a person? I can't even swing a sword without you. What kind of sword saint am I? I am just a borrowed blade.
You carry my soul, but your will is still your own. Until you believe that, you will never break free.
Yuki lifted the katana again, but doubt lingered like an open wound. He was still a ghost's echo. Before dawn, a shadow moved in the mist. A founder had tracked them to the mountain. Yuki lunged with a roar, but the founder's hand caught his blade and hurled him against the stone. The founder's voice dripped contempt. So this is the vessel, a scrawny puppet that can barely lift the master's strings.
Release your grip, boy. Let me through, or we both die here.
Reluctantly, Yuki yielded. Kenji's spirit flooded his limbs, and the katana sang in ancient, lethal patterns. The founder's eyes widened as he blocked a strike meant for dead masters. You still puppeteer the weak sword saint. This boy is just a sheath for your vengeance.
He's right. I am not a warrior. I am just a weapon rack for a ghost's grudges.
Ignore his poison. A victory is a victory. We survived.
Not if it isn't mine. I am done being your marionette, Kenji.
Yuki turned away, leaving the wounded founder in the dirt. The wind felt emptier than any loss he'd ever known. Another founder tracked him at dawn. Yuki stood his ground and refused to let Kenji take the reins.
This time I fight as myself. No borrowed hands.
The founder's counter sliced through Yuki's guard, biting into his shoulder. Blood soaked his cloak. He dropped to one knee, vision darkening. The katana slipped from numb fingers.
Idiot. You'll die without me. Let me in.
I'd rather die a corpse rank hunter than live as your puppet.
The founder paused, blade raised, then lowered it. Interesting, he murmured, and vanished.
I will not be a puppet. I will become a sword saint with my own 2 hands. Kenji, I'll match your skill without surrendering my soul. This is my vow.
He trained until bones cracked and muscles tore, but every repetition carved a new path. His path, Yuki moved through the crescent moon form 1,000 times. His muscles ached with the effort of remembering.
Your stance is still too rigid. Loosen your shoulders.
He studied old scrolls Hina had smuggled out, the original diagrams of Kenji's lost forms.
I'll engrave these into my own body. No possession, no surrender.
For weeks, he drilled the same sequence until his eyes closed, and his sword moved by instinct alone. Then, one morning, he completed the 8-stroke chain without a single error. His hands trembled.
I did it. That was me. No one else.
You've begun to tread your own path. It is acceptable.
It's not enough. I need to surpass your limits. I need my own form.
The ghost said nothing, but in the silence, Yuki felt the faintest shift, a sword saint's pride. A crackling campfire lit Hina's face as she knelt beside Yuki. She had come alone, bearing a satchel of stolen documents.
I've confirmed the ritual's flaw. Each founder's immortality is tied to a specific memory of their betrayal. If you can make them relive that moment, truly feel it, their age catches up. They shatter.
I knew my students hungered for power, but I was blind. I taught them everything, never imagining they'd turn on me. The night they struck, I was planning a reform to give our arts to commoners. That sealed my fate.
So they killed you, not just out of ambition, but because you threatened their monopoly.
Pride kept me from seeing. I wanted to believe they were my legacy. Now we must carve a new one together.
Use their memories as weapons. Kensei's is the strongest. His betrayal was the most calculated.
Then I'll make him remember. Not out of hate, but so he can't hide from what he did.
Hina watched him gather his gear, then turned to the east. The next dawn would bring judgment. A founder waited in a ruined courtyard, his blade already drawn. The ghost's puppet arrives. I expected the saint, not his shadow.
I am no puppet. Not anymore.
Steel met steel in a shower of sparks. The founder's centuries of skill pushed Yuki back, but he held his ground.
Use the crescent moon counter. He overcommits to his right.
But Yuki didn't listen. He twisted his blade in a spiral, a reverse grip Kenji had never taught, and drove it through the founder's guard.
Remember the night you stabbed your master.
The founder's eyes went wide, not with pain, but with memory. The betrayal replayed in his mind, and his ageless skin began to crack, his body shattered like ancient stone, crumbling to dust. The courtyard fell silent except for Yuki's ragged breath.
I did it alone.
You've grown, boy. That was a technique I never imagined.
Word traveled fast. The remaining founders gathered in their shadowed citadel, their ancient eyes fixed on a single throne. Only Kensei spoke. The boy has learned to kill the unkillable. He is no longer a puppet, he is no long redden. Kensei descended from the fortress, his presence alone silencing the forest. He found Yuki at a riverbank at dawn.
You've surpassed my expectations, Yuki. The spirit of Kenji finally has a worthy vessel.
I am more than a vessel. I've become a sword saint on my own terms.
Prove it. In 3 days, at the ruined temple where Kenji first taught us, we will settle this master against heir.
I accept, not for revenge, but so that Kenji's legacy can finally rest.
Be careful, boy. Kensei was the deadliest of them all. He will exploit every weakness.
Then I'll have none. This fight ends with my own blade and my own will.
3 days later, under a breaking storm, Yuki and Kensei stood across from each other in the ruined temple courtyard. The final duel awaited. Kensei moved like a ghost through rain, his blade a silver line that Yuki barely parried. Sparks drowned in the downpour.
Your footwork is still a child's. Kenji taught you the forms, but you lack the centuries.
Yuki's counter was a breath too slow. Kensei's riposte bit into his side, and the world tilted red.
You cannot match him, boy. Let me take control. It's not surrender, it's survival.
No, I'd rather die on my feet than win on my knees. This body is mine.
Impressive spirit. But spirit alone won't save you. This is where your borrowed legend ends.
Yuki's grip tightened. In the rain, something shifted. The sword no longer felt like a ghost's weapon, but his own.
He reads every pattern Kenji taught me. I need something he's never seen. My own path.
Kensei's blade descended for the killing stroke. Yuki didn't block. He twisted aside, and the storm seemed to pause. Yuki landed on bent knee, blood streaming, but his eyes held a savage calm. He would not fall. Not yet. Yuki pushed off the wet stone, rising through the pain. The katana felt alive in his grip.
Kenji's forms flow like water, but I need to become the stone that breaks the river.
He abandoned the textbook stances and dropped into a low, coiled posture, something raw, born of desperation. Kensei's blade flashed forward, but Yuki's counter came from an angle no living swordsman had ever used. A spiral slash that trailed 2 auras.
This is my path. Not the crescent moon, but the falling star.
The strike hammered into Kensei's guard, and for the first time, the immortal founder stumbled.
What is this? No student of Kenji has ever performed such heresy.
Yuki didn't answer. He flowed into the next attack. His own will fused with every swing. The tide turned. Kensei's perfect rhythm crumbled. He began to block faster, his centuries-old calm cracking. The storm above seemed to cheer, lightning splitting the sky, as the boy who was once E-rank drove back the immortal. Yuki's falling star screamed forward, a spiral of silver and blue that shattered Kensei's final parry.
Impossible. I drank the saint's blood. I am eternal.
Your eternity ends here. Not with Kenji's hand, but with mine.
Kensei's body convulsed as centuries caught up. His skin flaked away like ash, his ancient eyes hollowing. The last founder mouthed a silent curse, then scattered to the wind. Only his white-hilted katana remained. Yuki stood alone, chest heaving, the storm beginning to quiet. The katana felt heavy in his hands, his own now.
It's over. I actually did it.
You are truly the Sword Saint now. Not my heir, my equal.
Equal? Kenji, I couldn't have done this without you, but I am glad I did it my way.
The first ray of dawn broke through the clouds, and the ghost of the fallen Sword Saint began to fade.
5 centuries of anger, dissolved by a single boy's will. I can finally rest.
Kenji, I didn't just carry your blade. I learned what it means to be a Sword Saint.
You surpassed my greatest fears and my greatest hope. The title is yours, twice earned.
He's really leaving. This weight in my chest. Is it gratitude or grief?
Live well, Yuki. Your path is now your own.
Kenji's form dissolved into morning light, the blue mist fading like a breath on glass. Yuki stood alone in the rubble, the white-hilted katana of Kensei lying beside him. He bent and retrieved Kensei's blade, a weight of history in his hands.
I'll make sure no one ever twists the Sword Saint's legacy again.
The dawn outlined his silhouette against the temple ruins, the first Sword Saint who earned the title twice. The academy courtyard was packed. Students, instructors, and visiting dignitaries all fell silent as Hina stepped forward.
Yuki, once E-rank, now the slayer of false immortals. In the name of the Royal Sword Academy, I confer upon you the title of Sword Saint.
Yuki knelt to receive the golden seal. The crowd that once mocked the corpse rank hunter bowed in unison.
I am not here because of Kenji alone. This is my path, carved with my own 2 hands.
He returned alone to the Forbidden Valley, where a simple stone marker now stood. No ghost lingered here anymore. Yuki knelt before the grave and laid his own katana beside the replica. 2 blades, 2 saints, 1 legacy.
Thank you, old man. For the burden, the lessons, and the freedom. I'll carry them all forward.
From the tree line, Hina watched with folded arms. She didn't approach, just nodded once, then turned away. Finally, Yuki rose, donning the white cloak of his new rank. The once frayed gray hunter's cloak was folded away, and then he walked, not toward a new mission, but toward the future he had earned. The Sword Saint who rose twice.